If you're here, please say hello. I'm going live from Zoom because it's something I've been trying to figure out for a while. And I just realized, oh, yeah, I can do that. If you're here, because I love to see the people. Let's get this party started. It's been a coconutty week. Last week, everything was like boom, boom, boom. Everything was on point. All these coincidences were happening. I was right in the crest of that wave and I was unstoppable. Yeah, this week's okay, that was last week. This week, we're going to rock and mix this up. It's like, that's cool. So yesterday, I had my masterclass all planned out. Y'all, you got to put the link in the chat because it's a really good one, because not only is it getting you out of that headspace of panic and giving you tools to be powerful in your own life. Has to do with the holidays. Let's be inclusive because it's all the holidays. It's Halloween. It's Thanksgiving. It's Canadian Thanksgiving. It's Christmas. It's Hanukkah. It's Kwanzaa. It's all the celebrations and all the food that comes along with it and all the shame and guilt that comes with eating the pumpkin pie. Although that's gross because I had a roommate once call it toe jam pie and it's never been the same for me since. I'm sorry if I just ruined it for you as well. It happens. Maybe you're not as impressionable as I am because I'm very impressionable. So what's amazing is that I put this presentation together, blood, sweat, tears, but don't worry, that's not in the finished product. That's only in the process, to share with the humans so you can have a peaceful Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or Thanksgiving or all of the above and into the new year. Can you tell I get excited about what I do? I love what I do. It's amazing. And then yesterday morning, I get a notice saying, oh, by the way, there's going to be internet outages in the area all day while we improve your service. Thank you for your patience. I'm like, what the? Yeah, patience. So I haven't always been known for my patience. Ask my oldest child, bless his heart. God, he went to the military so he would get yelled at less, the Marine Corps, no less. So imagine, if you will, me not coping. So yesterday, when we're in the groove of things, when things are going, we are in our energetic space and life is just rolling along. And then all of a sudden, things come to a grinding halt and go sideways, and you're feeling like you're flipped forward, sideways, and backwards on a 17-car pileup on the freeway. It happens, right? That is life. We get up, we make plans. Okay, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go work out, I'm gonna go do my meditation, I'm gonna have breakfast, I'm gonna do all these things and everything. And then you get a sick kid, and then you get a flat tire, and then you get one of those dreaded phone calls that God forbid you should get. But happens, right? I mean, that's just life. So how do you deal with it? So I've got a few points that I want to go over today about how to manage. So yesterday, when I realized finally, like, son of a nutcracker, I am not going to be able to deliver my beautiful product to the people. Okay, I just got to make peace with this and move on. Did I cry? I did. I cried. I was very emotional. A lot of things were happening in my thinking brain thing, and it's going to happen. Sometimes when things happen and when people's like, suck it up, buttercup. Yeah, most of the time I suck it up. And every once in a while, it just feels like a gut punch. Like, ugh, I did all this work. I did all this preparation. I imagine people getting excited and feeling empowered and all these things. And I was like, nope, just kidding. Not happening. So I picked up my daughter from school. And I said, how is your day? Mine is really crappy and everything's horrible and I hate everyone and everything. And I just want to eat ice cream and popcorn and curl up into a ball. And she's, I had a good day. So it's like when parents dump their feelings on you. I try not to do it very often because God bless her, she's already in therapy. But I'm the poster child for therapy. Never forget that. So here's the deal. We can't control what happens. Repeat after me. We can't always control what happens. We can only control how we respond to it. So the first thing we need to do is acknowledge the feelings. This really sucks. This really sucks. It reminds me of a time I was going to Florida. My baby was almost 4 months old. I was a basket case, new mother, older mother, 37, husband drive me crazy. The other two kids make me crazy. I just need to get away. I had an easy pregnancy. I was ginormous. I had all these things going on. I just wanted to go see my mommy and my sisters in Florida. Wind kicked up, closed all the freaking runways. And I was only supposed to go for 3 days. And so all of a sudden, I'm not going at all. I remember driving home. Again, the gut punch, just crying. Of course, I was very hormonal, emotional. My then husband was very sweet. And he's like, well, look at other flights. We'll see what, we can fix this. He was always very good at fixing. You know how the men folk are. They like to fix things. And sometimes you just need someone to fix it and just please make everything better. But we can't always rely on other people fixing it because it's up to us. Ultimately, people can do nice things for you. And my daughter, allowed herself to sit with me yesterday while we had popcorn and hot chocolate after school. And she wanted to go off and, have her own life. But she amused me. And I said, can we have cuddles? And cuddles means sitting side by side with each other and talking, not really touching, but she's a teenager. But so we can have other people do it, but ultimately we got to decide. So the first thing we got to do is acknowledge this sucks. I don't like it. But it is what it is. And I heard someone once say that the expression "it is what it is" was such a defeating statement. No, I totally disagree, and I'm going to tell you why. Because sometimes you just I can't do anything. I can't make the internet appear. There's nothing I can do. Someone said you can go to a hotel. I had less than an hour. There was things that I could do. I could go to a coffee shop. I just didn't feel like I was going to be delivering the quality that I wanted to deliver because I have a very high standard when it comes to my product and my process and what I offer my clients. So that didn't really feel good either. So I had to cancel. All right, gonna cancel, moving on. Okay, what else can we do? So I had my pity party. I felt bad. I felt crushed. I sat and I may have done the crossword while I decompressed. And then I got up and I immediately started putting into place, okay, what do I need to do today? So it was already after hours on my tech guy. So first thing this morning, I emailed him and I said, okay, well, this happened. So when can I reschedule? October 4th, mark your calendars, October 4th. I'm going to be running the masterclass again. So, which I was kind of planning on doing that anyway, but now I have these people that were in the original and we're just going to move forward, keep moving forward. Number 7 on my daily mantra is momentum is messy. And then I added keep going because we accept what's happening. What is outside our control, but then we say, okay, what is within my control? So I started putting things in place for the next round. I did some marketing last night. I started rethinking about how I can approach this because it's really about weight loss is not about counting calories. It's about time management. Yeah, think about that. It's less about counting calories. Actually, it's more about being aware of your macros, but that's another story for another time. But it's really about time management. And that's what we talk about. And that's what we're talking about in the masterclass. And so I'm super excited about that. But I couldn't do it yesterday. So we acknowledge the suckiness. We accept what is outside our realm of control. And then we start to shift perspective. And that's why we're like, okay. And that reminds me of the story of my sister-in-law when she married my brother. They had a wedding shower for her and she's a practical girl. And every time she'd open something, she'd say, what are we going to do with that now? To be fair, there was this, nobody even knows what it was. It was this super bougie box thing box thing where it had silver teaspoons for legs that had been artfully crafted. Now she's a very practical girl. So I was looking at this what the hell is this? So my sisters, or at least one sister, was mortified that this was her response. I'm like, no, this is great. I mean, she's shifting her perspective. She's asking questions. What are we going to do with that now? So that's kind of like what we do is when we're shifting our perspectives. Okay, what are we going to do with this now? How can we take what we've been given and turn it into something that we can use? Y'all, That victim mentality will not serve you. It's actually ruining the world, truthfully. When we don't take responsibility for our own actions, and look, trust me, I've made a lot of poor judgment calls in my life. So, taking responsibility sometimes for ourselves is painful. But I want to blame everybody else. It's so much easier. Believe me, your environment, your the way you were raised, all the and we've talked about this before, all the messages we get from social media and from the news and from news opinion, all these things coming in, they absolutely shape us. But at the end of the day, what are we doing? What are we focusing on that's within our realm of control? So, and that is empowering. This is giving you tools right in your hands to make awesomeness in your life. And as I often say, your best health is closer than you think, because it just takes a matter of shifting that perspective. So I'm going to read off a couple of things about shifting your perspective, seeing what opportunities are available from this challenge that has presented itself. Sometimes you have to learn something new. I mean, when I got divorced, I didn't know, I hadn't balanced a checkbook in 20 years. I hadn't lived independently. I hadn't done things for myself. So many things I hadn't done for myself. When you're in that situation of complete life change, you adapt. And what's amazing is that when we just continuously make excuses, we don't have to show up. We can just sit over here and say, well, I'm like this because this is the way it is, and that's the way it is. Or you could say, okay, this is what I got. What are we doing next? It's like when I got MS. I'm like, okay, it took me 10 years to wrap my head around that one. So yeah, it's all in your own time. But when you realize, what am I going to do with this? Most times when people talk about having MS, like they know someone with multiple sclerosis, and they say, oh yeah, she's not doing really well. First thing I ask is, how's her lifestyle? How is she? Does she eat well? Does she exercise? No, she smokes, she drinks, she's got a terrible diet. That's no accident, y'all. That's no accident. Could I lose control of my legs, my bladder, my sight, my vision tomorrow? Absolutely. Anyone can. We could wake up tomorrow and not be able to see or walk or whatever. But using it as an opportunity to enjoy life, to get up every morning and stand up and say, thank you. Thank you for working legs. This is an opportunity. So, practical steps, take a deep breath. Yes, when something happens, take a deep breath. It's how I start every morning. I sit down with my girl here. This is me. I sit down with my girl and I say, all right, we are unstoppable. This is us. This is me breaking out of my crib, my room, the cabin we were in, all to get to my sand pile. Every morning I sit here and I breathe for 2 minutes thinking about that little girl who was unstoppable. So if you look in the mirror and think, what about you that you have overcome in your life that makes you unstoppable, that you would not let get in your way? That is a really great way to set the tone for the day. So breathing. So that when things, they do go sideways, you're like, this is one thing, I can do this, right? Again, acknowledge the feelings. We don't want to skate over the feelings because the feelings are important. We just don't want to marinate in the feelings. Acknowledge the feelings, accept what's happening, move on, shift that perspective. Break down the problem into smaller, manageable parts. All right, so this is what's happening. Okay, that's what I said. I sat down. Okay, I got to contact the tech guy. I'm going to call during business hours. I'm going to ask him what's the next best step, set up a new date, all these things. So I broke it down into smaller things. And now I'm thinking, oh, I can do more actually marketing about this. I can talk about it more. Speaking of MS, there's my medication. Someone is at the front door. I can see them on my ring door. I'm watching you. Anyway, so taking a deep breath, breaking big projects down to smaller pieces is a huge deal. Seek support from friends or family or a coach. How many times a day am I getting messages from my clients saying, oh, I did this, I did that. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling bad. And I coach them through it. And 9.9 times out of 10, they come away feeling better because I have empowered them. I have given them the tools, what they need. They need what they needed to hear in that moment. So go to that. When I say I have a best friend, I have a best friend. I'll say he's one of my best friends. How can you have more than one best friend? Because I have one best friend for what I need to do for my garden. I have another best friend. What I need to do is relationships. So we have a best friend. So have someone in your wheelhouse that you can go to and say, this really sucks. I hate everyone and everything right now. And they can talk you off the ledge. So someone to talk to. So it could be a coach, it could be a friend, it could be your mom, your sister, whatever. Have someone to go through this and sort it out through your head as opposed to your butt. Sort it out so it's not compacting and you are curled up in a ball, rocking back and forth because you've been there, done that, and it's novel for a short amount of time. Think about what have I done before that I have overcome that I can do again right now. Like I have the sticky note. You see it? I know I can because I already did. Every time I feel like I'm being derailed, I think of things that I have struggled with in the past and I can overcome. I have overcome it before. I can overcome this too. Was yesterday a big deal? No, it was annoying, but I got around it. I got past it. I kept moving forward. And that is what's most important. And that's true for your business, your health, your relationships. This all comes into play. So it's not just a one-stop shop. This impacts every aspect of your life. How you deal when life throws, I don't know why, I just had a vision of buckets of fish in my head. I was watching Jaws on the weekend. You're getting things thrown at you and set off course. That doesn't mean that has to be. That's up to you to decide. If that's how you want it to be for the rest of your life, then that's great. But know that there are other options. Resilience, that's what I've been talking about. You can do this. You can do the things you need to do to lose weight. You can do the things to shift your mindset, because I've had to learn how to not lose my every time something goes sideways. I would freak out. I was such a spasmatron. Okay, sometimes I still am. I am a human being, especially when I'm tired or hungry. Just throw a Snickers at me and run. We are human beings, yes. And that's with an asterisk, because that's not a blanket excuse for behavior. So I'm being human right now. I'm reacting poorly right now, but that's not a truth. That's just something that's how I have been conditioned to. But here's the beauty of this. You're conditioned to respond one way if you grew up in an angry family, a family that just goes off, a short fuse, goes off. You can condition yourself to react differently. It's about reacting versus responding. Reacting, you see a bear, you poop your pants, you run. Responding, most things in life are not bears, but we treat them like they are. So we react. But really, when something like that happens, it's like, okay, I'm going to respond. And how am I going to respond? Responding keeps you calm. Responding keeps you clear-headed and looking at the next steps of what you're going to do, right? What am I going to do with this now? How are we going to pivot? How are we going to move forward? That's so important with any life challenge. Is it a cancer diagnosis? I mean, there's varying scales, but at the end of the day, we still get to choose how we respond. When my son went to boot camp for the Marine Corps, I could have flipped out easily for 3 months. But instead, I had a come to Jesus moment. I got to let go and let God. What do I have actual control over? I sent him care packages, which probably got him mocked at the very least. I sent him letters almost every day. I did things what were in my control, and that brought me peace. When we focus on what's within our control, that will bring you peace. It will bring you calm. It will create that energy that you need to focus and move forward. It's not always easy. Yesterday, I was just feeling sad. I had a lot of things going on and I just was feeling blue. And then this happened. I was just like, ugh. And so last night I'm brushing my teeth and I thought, that's number one of my mantra. Today is brand new and tomorrow is too. So, and so I said, when my head hits that pillow, I am off the clock, storing up energy and excitement for a brand new day. Because just because you had a day that went sideways, that doesn't have to make it into a bad week or a bad month or bad year or bad decade or what have you. And that's what's so exciting about this. Y'all, I was not in a good headspace yesterday. I was so sad and I was crying. It was kind of sad. But I was like, this is me feeling my feelings. And it's funny now. But at the time I was laughing too, because I am such a fixer. I'm such a dude that way. I want to just fix the problem, but it's really important to be present with your feelings so that you can work through it. Because today I feel a million gazillion times better because I didn't just ignore it and sweep it under the rug. Remember, you sweep it under the rug gets lumpy. You just continually trip over it. You can write that one down. So stop sweeping things under the rug. but also don't sit there and marinate. So you are resilient. Mikey says, hi. I don't know if anyone else is here. I did not broadcast this because I was in a 12 o'clock meeting. I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something. Oh yeah, my weekly Facebook Live. Oopsie daisies. So here we are. That's the other thing. Doesn't have to be perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. That's another thing that shoots us in the foot. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just going to go do my Facebook Live. I started at like 1:36 or something, not on the hour. People can watch this in the replay. I'll share it to my groups. I'll share it to my story so people can see this, because I think, and please share, like this, because if you're watching this, like this, because that creates an algorithm. I'm not defined by likes, but this is science, y'all. This is computer science. I want to create an algorithm because I want other people to hear this message, to know that it's okay to feel things. It's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to lose your poop and then realize you need to move on, because I am here to empower people to understand that you got this. You can do this. You're amazing. You've done it before. You can do it again. You are a resilient person. Put any questions you have about how to manage stressful situations. Share personal stories. Share things that have happened to you that you realize now in retrospect how you would do it differently. Sometimes you're just going to lose your poop. Like that's just a matter of fact. Like, what the hell? I've had this before. I'm working through it. People who drive slow in the passing lane, it's a trigger. It makes me crazy. I can't. Are you oblivious? Do you just not know? Do you not know the rules? There used to be people that would literally ride in the passing lane to make sure you didn't pass and go too fast. We call them the road vigilantes. The little blue hairs, they'd be driving in the car saying, nope, you're not going to pass me and cause an accident. Meanwhile, you're back there causing a car. You know what it is. So anyway, I digress. But what are things that you have difficulty moving through? What are difficult things? Write it out, write it down. Last night I was going to do that actually. And then I decided to go to bed. So I didn't even go to bed that early, but here's what was I had in control. I cleaned my kitchen. I made sure that I was going to come down to a clean kitchen. I went to bed at a decent time. I was going to get up early and work out. Although it's my day off, but no, I'm going to get some sleep. I got a solid night's sleep. I prioritized what was going to work for me. When you're in the throes of things and you just want to eat cookies and lay face down in a bucket of Haagen-Dazs, I get it. I get it. I get it. I've been there. Taking small actions and sometimes just going to bed and knowing tomorrow is a new day is all you need to do just to shift things, because otherwise, what are we just sitting here spinning our wheels? No, it's like when people will go on these diets. You know how hard it is for me to get people off this low fat idea? Oh my gosh, please stop with the low fat. You're killing yourself slowly and horribly, and it's so bad for you. Low fat, fat doesn't make you fat. I eat, I eat a lot of fat. My breakfast is always high in protein and healthy fats. So I have a whole avocado, the medium size, not the big one, every morning at breakfast, and I'm losing weight because my body is satiated. It's getting the nutrients it needs. So anyway, I know I'm going off the rails here. So just remember, and I wrote this in the email yesterday, telling the people who had signed up for the masterclass that I will reschedule. I love Todd Durkin often says, I don't know if this is his quote, but he often says, a setback is just a setup for a comeback. So that's a writer downer. A setback is just a setup for a comeback. So think, what can I do with this? So the points I want to really emphasize on this is acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge it sucks, accept what you can and can't do. It's like the serenity, I have it here. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That is a huge element. You can take a breath, repeat that mantra, repeat whatever mantra you have that encourages you to keep going. You have the power in your hands. Acknowledge your feelings, accept what's happening, for better or for worse. Understand that what is actually within your realm of control, just repeating it a little bit here. Shift your perspective. Okay, what can I do with this? What can I do with this? How can I make this into something I can use? Break it down to smaller steps. taking a deep breath, making it manageable, seeking out support from friends. And remember that you have past successes and this is just another blip on the map. You have overcome things before and you can do it again going forward. You are a resilient human being and you have it in you to make these meaningful changes in your life. You have it and to make changes with your health. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about health because it's what I do. I live a healthy lifestyle. It is not extreme. And is that something that you want to talk about more? If you're ready to stop being scared and start contemplating and thinking, maybe I do need to do some things so I don't grow old and end up in a senior's home at 60 and spending all my money on doctors and nurses, talk to me now because we're building this now. We're building this together and that's amazing. And it starts with how you respond to life, how you react. People who get the cancer, and I'm not saying I'm exempt because none of us are exempt. We a lot of time remember it comes from disease, which is dis-ease. Disease comes from dis-ease, and because that means our mind and body are not two separate things. They are intimately linked. So this is so important to understand that what we think and how we respond to life affects us physiologically. If you're holding everything in, if you're just rolling with the punches, that is going to manifest in other ways. I want you to keep that in mind. I want to keep you healthy and well and strong and have a bright outlook on life because why not? Why not? And we're all on different phases and stages. So it's about finding where you are right now and seeing the beauty in where you are right now. Remember, you have more control than you think. The tools for coping, for shifting your mindset, they are all at your fingertips. If you don't know how to do that, please reach out to me. Just ask a question. I have a 20-minute meeting. I'll put the link in the chat because if you want to reach out to me and book a meeting and book a time to talk about these things and you figure out your next best steps, I am all ears. It's what I do. People do not take advantage. They just think I'm automatically going to sell them something. If you want me to be your coach, sure, I'll take your money and give you quality service. But if you just need to figure out those next steps, need to think out loud, book a call with me because I would love to help you figure out what your next steps are and figure out what the rest of your life is going to be and how to make it the best of your life. All right, that is my time. We are wrapping up. Take care. God bless. Love you. That is a command. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.